Welcome to the MHSAA Finals. I'm the Doxology. Alongside me is Skids, and we're both named Kyle, so you can call us Kyle Squared for today. Today's going to be an amazing matchup, too, because we've got a big competition that's gone all throughout the season. One of the things that I love about PlayVS is the way that they set up their seasons. So this 2021 fall season has been absolutely fantastic, and Mississippi State rivalries are all over the place. And so we've seen some of those matchups already. Now going into it, it's going to be BHS Rockets versus Pass Christian Varsity. And Skids, let me tell you, it's been a great season, and it's always my favorite thing when we get to this final is because it's a best of 7 and we get to see a lot of Rocket League, and sometimes it even comes down to that very last little bit. We saw it yesterday, actually, in one of the other state finals where it was game 7 with extra time, and you can't ask for better Rocket League than that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I could see this one going the distance as well. You talked about the seasons and how these teams are going to be shaped up. Well, we do have the two best teams from the MHSAA, not only because they're in the finals, but also because they were the 1 and 2 seeds coming into this. So you know that these teams are going to be equipped. Not only are they going to be ready to roll, but they are local on a LAN event. So emotions are going to be running high, maybe a little bit extra pressure to perform at the top of your game. We do have the BHS Rockets going up against Pass Christian. So these two schools, BHS being the number 1, Pass Christian being the number 2, they are ready to rock and roll today.
I'm kind of excited too, because when you think of a LAN event, right? It's been so long, and for so long we've hoped that we could get back to this, right? Because there's something electric about it where you're able to be, whether in the same room or even just the same building, to really amplify that competitive nature, cheer on your teammates. It's not something just online, where you're having to, just kind of like send messages or encouragement. You actually get to cheer with your teammates and recognize, hey, this is the level of competition that we're at. So I'm so excited to see these LAN events coming back here in 2021. Let's look at this bracket and see the journeys between the two of them.
Yeah, and as I mentioned, we do have the number 1 seed coming out of the top, BHS Rockets, just been absolutely dominating. And then Pass Christian as well, coming in from the bottom side. Both teams have done a good job of cleaning up, and now we do have the best of 7. So I can see this one going all the way. Not really much of a challenge going through the first parts of the bracket, but now facing the most formidable opponents yet, this one could go all the way to 7. And there's also a little bit of a discomfort going back and circling back to that LAN event. There could be some discomfort with not playing at your own setup. You get to bring your own, like your controller, your equipment, whatever, but you don't have the view that you're used to. You don't have, your chair, your whatever mojo you have going on. LAN throws that off, and I think both of these teams are going to be able to step up to that challenge, though.
I mean, you and I both know we both have Pikachu bobbleheads on our desk, and we really like.
You got to call it out, don't you?
Maybe they're able to see that. But all this wouldn't be made possible without an amazing sponsor of ePlex, and that's something that we have to look at here. ePlex is your local esports and virtual reality complex featuring the Clutch Cafe. Play, train, and compete in tournaments and leagues for all ages and all skill levels. ePlex offers memberships, gaming lock-ins, and launch parties for new games. We welcome gamers to come out and game together at your local ePlex. I remember going to these type of cafes, and I'm so glad that there's places like ePlex out there to be able to kind of introduce. Sometimes you don't always get to have those games at home, right? I grew up where I didn't really have a console until I could buy one myself. So it's really cool to kind of introduce people and get people back out there meeting, having that engagement. And that's something that I've definitely missed in the last few years. I think we all have missed being able to get out and really have that personal engagement. So kudos to them and thank you for sponsoring this. It's such a special time. But back into this tournament, right? We're looking at a best of 7 between these two teams. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break. And when we get back, we're going to break down the first few games of what is going to take place. And we'll jump in to game 1 right after this. Welcome back into the MHSAA finals. I'm the Doxology. Alongside me is Skids. And what we are hearing from this LAN party is that all players are there, accounted for, and they're getting loaded up now. So we are just seconds away from jumping into game one. But before we do that, this is a best of 7. And Skids, one of the things I love about a best of 7 is you get that first game that is a complete throwaway game. It almost doesn't matter whether you drop it or win it. Of course, it's nice to get that first little boost, that first game out of the way. But I like it because you can get those jitters out by playing extremely aggressive or extremely, forcing those demos. You can get physical. You can find out what your team's mental fortitude is really quickly. And I've seen a lot of teams kind of use this game to play maybe a little bit slower as a warm-up game as well. So especially with a LAN event coming in from traveling or getting set up and not having the necessary warm-up time that you might from your own setup, like you were saying before the break, this is kind of that opportunity where you can use this first game to warm up. From your standpoint, Skids, what are some of the things that you would maybe do to warm up in a very quick environment like a LAN?
Yeah, so it's a little bit different here. Most of the time when you show up to a LAN event, you got a little bit of time to get things ready, get yourself prepped. But obviously these guys are showing up a little bit later and they got a couple of tech issues to get resolved. So the warm-up time isn't going to be there necessarily. That's why you got to kind of get some prep in beforehand. Having this event later in the afternoon gives you plenty of time to get prepped, get your comms in, and then hopefully the teams are rolling in together, game planning with their coach on their way to the venue and strategizing when they arrive. And you talked about the best of 7 kind of format and series. Well, this 1 and 2 team setup, the top seeds, these guys are going to be solid. They're going to have maybe a couple of things that they want to adjust and tinker with as the series goes on. But the earlier setup we had earlier today was about a 1 and a 7. So the 7 seed, maybe a Cinderella story, tries to pop something off aggressive early. I'm not sure if we're going to see that exactly with these 1 and 2 seeds. Who's going to be the team that fires off first, or are they going to play a little bit conservatively and wait for their opponent to make a mistake?
Yeah, I'm kind of keeping an eye on the communication too, on how this is going to be set up. And I'm really excited to see when these teams do get in this lobby, right? It's going to be a quick boom. You're in, you're going. And so that is exactly where we're at as the first game is underway. And now it is all about basically getting that momentum going quickly. And right here, we've got an opportunity for PCV coming into that offensive attack, but instead it goes the opposite direction for BHS, and now they take a shot, but 2 players commit on that, and that's a dangerous thing, Skid. You do not want to see 2 of your defenders leave the ground like that.
No, you gotta focus on playing not just the ball. A lot of the reason that some of these lower seeded teams can get caught off guard is they're ball chasing and they're not playing positioning there. Great stop there by Fork to get that out of the goal, but you also want to have that communication. And so if you can know who's going to go in as a shot comes in from Pacey, cannot connect, but you want to know who's going for the ball, who's going to stay low. We've seen a lot in these state championships where teams can get caught off guard. You have 2 guys either chasing ball or all 3 overextended on the offensive side, allowing for a quick counter shot. So BHS and PCV are going to have to play both disciplined but aggressive at the same time.
I like that Fork Knife is using the Donomus a little bit, a bit of that bigger hitbox too. It's good for defense, especially being able to make yourself big. You see Jexy right there is just kind of working it around that midfield. And now, can you get control along with that midfield boost? That's the question, because they're going up aerial. I mean, they're going for it. But I'm very curious to see who's able to maintain that midfield boost and that control, as you see Fork Knife Zach just kind of chilling around that midfield. You see Criver also for BHS trying to get it cleared out of that corner. And finally, it looks like it's going to be cleared out by Pacey. And really, Skids, when you're looking for kind of those shot opportunities, I think in this early game, you're more trying to figure out, if you get it cleared, where does the defense go, or where does the offense move or rotate? Because sometimes you learn a lot from how that off-ball movement takes place.
Yeah, every time you touch the ball, you want to have purpose and you want to have an idea of where it's going to go. And so we do get our first goal here by by Criver is able to punch that in. You see the demo off to the side, but even down 2 men, Criver able to punch that one through, getting the corner shot from Hype to bring it over into the center. That was great positioning, exactly like I talk about. You got the player in the corner who's going to kick it out to the middle, not just to kick it in the middle hoping for a center, because that can leave you overexposed and overextended for a counter shot if you're not set up there. But you got Criver that was able to punch it in exactly like they needed to. So have a little bit of purpose when you go up for an aerial. Make sure you're chasing it properly, and if you got something on the ground and you want to get an attack going, make sure you're communicating that clearly with your teammates.
Yeah, I believe that's Joshy too, that's pushing this through, if I'm not mistaken, coming all the way up, but now having to play on the defensive side. Strength is doing a really good job. He's the one who's been sitting back for PCV, kind of making sure that nothing leaks or gets by him, as now this is going to be into the corner, plays it perfectly centered. Here's a shot in the corner. It goes off the crossbar, and that is just a very, very lucky bounce off the crossbar for BHS, and now it's going the opposite direction.
Yeah, you had 2 players from BHS that were trying to stop that. Couldn't tell if it was a pinch or if they were both just going to chase the ball there, leaving a wide open net for PCV, unable to connect. Bracket League is a super tight, narrowed margin game, so even if you get a little bit too far to the left, it's gonna hit that post, just like we saw. And both teams doing a really good control on the attacking side, being able to push into their side and keep it aggressive, but BHS playing the better defense from what I've seen out of these 2 so far.
See them continually going back and forth. 120 remaining as Criver trying to clear things into the center, wants to get that shot opportunity for his teammates, but instead it's going the opposite way, and PCV, Fortnite Zach, gets the goal and ties it up at 1-1.
Great way to read the bounce off of the roof. You saw Jixie was off to the side. He didn't end up taking that from him because the attacker, I believe it was Fork Knife, had a great angle off of the rebound. And BHS trying to clear it out, but unfortunately sets it up perfectly for PCV to equalize it.
The Strength now playing that midfield. I love the midfield play because I feel like once you control that, it gives you a little bit more of that boost and the opportunity to maximize a fast break. If it's cleared out, maybe it's a little bit errant off the wall. It gives you that extra shot. This is a nice little redirect here from BHS, and now it's just hovering inside the box. Can Hype for Skypes go up for it? And he does, but that just goes off the top bar, and he's going to follow it through, but the defense stands strong. Good job by Strength and company for PCV. They've kind of really thwarted a couple really dangerous attacks right there.
PCV getting really lucky with that one. They had 2 players pinch it. Everyone was overextended, but BHS was unable to punch it in there. Very attacking heavy side here as Cry tries to put one in. Can Pacey put it in? No, he cannot. Just over the crossbar, but a demo coming in as well. So that gives BHS a quick little opportunity here. 8 seconds left. Can you punch it in? You see Hype knocking the cars out of the way for the side of PCV, but now with 1 second left, we might be going here into overtime unless Cry can trickle it in. No, off the backboard, and we are going into OT.
Game number 1, and we already have some extra time, and this is what it's all about right there. 2 players coming very, very quickly for BHS to stop that goal. That looked like it could have been the game-winning goal for PCV, but instead the defense stands strong, and now it's going to be kicked back out to midfield. It's going to be followed up. Pasty gets it back into the corner. That's going to be centered up, but cleared out, and now you see Fortnite Zach get a little bit bunched up. It looked like his car was disrupted by some of that midfield play. You see again, here's another shot. Can they go for the 3rd shot? That's another big save. And you see all 3 defenders right there. Finally, Criver is able to knock it into the back of the net. And BHS take game 1, 2-1 in overtime.
Yeah, fantastic effort from both sides of the ball. Big thing to note there for me was Past Christian was a little bit too overextended when they were playing the defensive side. They did a good job. I like the 2 players in the goal at certain times, but then you can't both chase it, so it gets a little bit tricky. You got to either plan for 1 player to be in the goal and cover the whole thing, or if you're doing 2, make sure it's clear who's going up for the ball and who's catching that split, because a lot of the times they both went up and either both missed or just got overextended to one side, leaving the rebound goal for BHS, which gave them the ultimate 2-1 victory here in game one.
Yeah, and that's kind of what you wanted to see earlier on is those extra shots and the extra pushing. But we saw a very close game all the way through and through going into that extra time. And now, I mean, it's only game two. It's a best of 7. So the response can come quickly. If you're past Christian, what you really want to do is continue to do what you did late in that game as we jump into game 2 right here. And I want to see them continue to kind of apply that pressure, but then also make sure their rotations are clean, because that was something they did very well in the last probably 2.5 minutes of that game to kind of rotate back, control the boost. And that is what opened them up on that extra shot and getting that goal to tie things up.
Both teams are ready to roll here at the LAN event for the MHSAA finals, and both teams have the nerves out from under him. Able to get those early goals are huge. Sometimes it's all about just getting that first one and hitting the rhythm. BHS, though, looks to have a stronger attacking front. From what I've seen, at least in that first game, they seem to have more shots on goal here as Pasty is trying to chip it away. So PCV, if they can get them a little bit overextended, maybe chip one out to the side, get out to an early lead, as they are on the attacking side now.
I do like the kind of the long clears, and sometimes that's exactly what you need to do. Even if it's not even a shot on goal or anything like that, it just gives your teammates an opportunity to pick up maybe a little bit more midfield boost along the pitch, or maybe it allows them to get into position to get that rebound. You know, if it's going to go wide, as that shot almost went in for Hype, but instead it gets all the way cleared out. And you see this long clear as it floats down. It gives Zach time to get to it. It gives Joshy time to center this up. And now that's going to be perfectly centered. 2 players converge on it, but instead it gets cleared and it's going the other way. Zach already on defense. Good rotation. That's exactly what I was talking about.
A minute and a half into this game number 2. The score still at 0s. Pretty well clear here from Fork Knife. Zach, let's see if PCV can set up anything. Strength decides he's not going to go for it up on the roof. Leave it for Joshy, who's going to try and chip it up. Let's see if we can get a little bit more aerial play here as Pasty gets a demo off to the side. We've seen the ball on the ground a little bit more than on game number 1 here, so maybe we can get some aerial dribbling into a nice shot here.
You see them just battling in that corner for that boost and then also for the center. Sometimes you don't always have to get that ball centered as much as they're trying. And you see the defense just doing a really good job of clearing it out. I would like to see maybe a demo early on, is that nobody's going to be able to get back and Hype for Skype. I mean, that's an open net opportunity really coming all the way through as you see the defender playing the ball or the car, not the ball. And that really, those are the small little mistakes that you can't give up in a game like this.
I mean, their attacking side seems to make sense there as they bring all 3 onto the attacking front as Criver gets the demo there on strength. And that's something that you have to expect. You can't always leave someone in the goal. It's just not feasible to get any attacking push when you're going to be 2-on-3 every time. So unfortunate for PCV there as BHS gets the nice snipe goal. And let's see if PCV can get an answer here. I saw on that last push, it seemed like they were just hitting it just to hit it. They weren't really achieving much with each of their contacts, and that's kind of what caused an open shot there for BHS as PCV slings one just a little bit too high, and nobody is there for the rebound.
You see them going back and forth. The Hype's really using all of that boost to get in there, and that's a big demo in the box. You see Zach coming through, but that's going to be taken away by Pasty. Criver almost getting the shot off of the back wall. Instead, it's going to be cleared to midfield, and now Strength on the offense. Really nice, fancy defense there, and getting up, no real committal, but still getting up high enough to disrupt that shot or that pass. And that's something to be, said and maybe take note of, is the way that BHS is playing very smart so far. Criver now with a little float shot that's going to go off the top wall and a little bit wide, but Criver follows it up and picks up that full boost in the corner. So he has the ability to kind of pinch it with a nice little shot, but instead the defense stands strong. And now you see how PCV, we're already to 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining in this, just a 1-goal game. It's been close through and through.
Criver bringing it back into their attacking side, and it seems like that's just been the case. Strength actually coming up with a big demo. We've seen a lot of demos so far this game. It's been pretty aggressive from both sides of the ball, but BHS just does not want the ball on their defensive side. Every single time it crosses that halfway point, they bring it right back, and PCV has zero room to breathe. Absolute ball control for BHS here. Now 40 seconds. Can Pass Christian get a goal to force us into at least overtime here?
30 seconds remaining. You see Joshy trying to get it cleared out. Pasty almost taking that away. That would have been a shot on goal too for BHS, which would have been the icing on the cake. Pasty with a shot just past the defender, and now with the 2-goal lead, BHS is only seconds away from taking game 2.
Yeah, but let's not get too eager here. We did see at the end of game 1, it was Fork Knife who had a nice clean shot on goal just off of the kickoff. So for BHS, don't leave that goal open. I know you want to get the boost here in the last 24 seconds, but you cannot afford an early goal here as they do a great job of clearing it, and that's going to be a little bit of an icing away here. 14 seconds left. EHS looking like they're going to be taking this game number 2.
See if Joshy gets this shot on goal. That's going to go wide, and it's not over yet.
I cast her cursed. I cast her cursed.
Just over the defender. Pasty got back, but you see Joshy put this on the opposite side of Pasty. An amazing shot, and really, that is what you need. Now, we've seen goals scored in 6 seconds. If this gets up, well, we might see a 0-0 goal right here.
Yeah, you knew something was going to happen here, but not enough there. BHS taking game number 2 by a score of 2-1. As soon as I said that BHS had this game in the bag, you knew that a goal was coming here.
Yeah, I mean, they did well controlling kind of the momentum for a lot of the game, but at the same time, when I look at the way that Pass Christian played, they really did a good job. They just weren't able to complete some of the passes that they wanted, and then also some of the shots didn't drop their way, and sometimes that's just Rocket League, right? But it's a best of 7. They're down 2-0 in the series, so they got to make an answer, and they got to come back right now. And if you're BHS, keep doing what you're doing. I would say maybe apply a little bit more pressure now on the offense, since you do have a 2-game lead. That could give you that little extra confidence boost if you're able to get an early goal, or possibly even 2 goals in the first half of this game.
The theme for this game number 3 is going to be attack, attack, attack. BHS did a phenomenal job of it that last time, and Pass Christian was just back on their heels. They couldn't get the ball out of their half. Every time they did, BHS brought it right back, and that's eventually what led to the 2 goals that we saw. So if you're Pass Christian, you gotta bring the ball up. You gotta make something happen on that attacking front. And we've seen really good team play here. I don't think we've had one singular player that we've been saying their name more than others. This has been really clean on both sides.
Yeah, and that's something to be said as they kind of work their way into this next game. Coming into game 3, are they going to be able to kind of match that gameplay of BHS? That's what PCV needs to do, is they need to really work on those extra passes and get an open opportunity. Clear out a defender on one side and then get that open opportunity. That's how they've scored their goals so far. 1 goal apiece in each game is not going to get it done against a team like BHS. However, I do believe that they can do it right here. They just got to kind of maximize their opportunities one more time. Criver didn't get enough on that. That goes into the corner. And now you see BHS on the attack again. And when you're on the attack this much, it makes it really difficult. We saw a demo come through. Now Joshy 0 boost strength with a shot, but instead Hypes is right there to just clear it out. Zach now coming in to help out. You see both of these teams trying to figure out a way to kind of disrupt the rhythm of how it's gone so far.
Yeah, for Pass Christian here, they are on the attacking side. Unfortunately, missed out on that one. A big demo here coming in from Joshy. The thing that I want to talk about is we talk a lot about second chance opportunities and second chance goals. The rebounds are often what go in for these Rocket League teams. But if you're Pass Christian, you can't afford to drop these first chances. It may not even come down to the second chance goal when you don't have the offensive control that they've had here. As we do see one cleared into the middle, but great save there from Criver. And down 2-0. Yes, this is a best of 7 series, but you feel like there's a little bit of pressure going on to this game, because if you get down 3-0, that is a steep steep hill to climb. A minute and a half into this third game, BHS up 2-0 in the series, but both teams tied at 0, almost with a goal there is Joshi.
Man, Joshi had a great look and a good read, just off the bar. I mean, really, when it hits that post, it could go in, and I've seen it glance in with the right spin of the ball. Maybe you get that extra little hit from the defender, right? Sometimes you get a self goal like that when the defender comes up to try to clear it out, but it hits the post a little bit awkward, and then it hits off the car. So a good job by Joshi seeing that, but unfortunately it doesn't fall into the back of the net, and PCV trying to apply that offensive pressure again. You see Pasty gets kind of hung up on the wall there for a second, and that's going to be a good job by Pasty getting back into the box and playing that defense. And now you see BHS on the flip side on their offensive push, and it's all up to Zach trying to clear it out now, as all three players for BHS were on the attack, and now they've already rotated on the defense. And when you have rotations like that, Skids, that is where it's a tough team to beat, because no matter if you get a fast break or not, you're going to have defenders defending the goal.
Yeah, BHS is doing a really good job of keeping three in the box, and only about one or two defenders separate out to attack the ball at a time, which is why Pass Christian is unable to get anything going here. But they did have the ball on the attacking front for a good part of a minute there, and that's a great change that we've seen between games 1 and 2, and now the third one here. Now we have BHS that's on the attacking front with a great clear from Joshi. This is a little 3-on-2 situation. You got to capitalize here, but Criver with a great defense. Pass Christian has been trying to get the ball into the middle for quick, easy goals, and nice save there from Forkknife. But as I was mentioning, getting it into the middle makes it a lot easier for you to put the ball in the net, but also if BHS is there, they can save it really quickly and really simply.
Yeah, I think right now you're so focused on getting it centered that BHS is just rotating through the box, continuously rotating through the box, and it makes it so difficult to get a shot on from the center. And I think Joshi had that really close shot from that angle. They might need to take some of those side angles and see if they can get maybe a defender into the center of the box, not close enough to get that save from the side.
Yeah, well, neither team with a goal on the board yet. We are under 1 minute in our third game. Let's see if BHS can continue their quest for the sweep, as there's something up the middle, but Joshi with an epic save does not overextend there. Beautiful, as Strength goes to take the ball and Joshi stays back for the save. That's a lot more discipline than we've seen out of the first 2 games. So great coaching and great ability for these players to get disciplined.
That's going to be a long booming off the top. Are they going to be able to get a shot on goal for PCV? They're going to try. Pasty's going to go into the corner, but no boost to be found. It looks like he might have just picked up as it refreshed there. And now you see Zach with a shot, but that's going to be disrupted right off the ceiling. And you see that bounce really quick like that. Imagine a player's following it up and times that right. That's a shot on goal for BHS, but instead the last seconds are going to tick off the clock. That's going to touch down, and in 3 games we're already seeing extra time twice.
Yes, but this time it's at a 0-0. So first goal scored in this game will be crowned your winner. And now BHS is going to hope that they can do it here, as Hype doesn't go for the flip reset, but tries to floss it over Joshi. But he has been playing phenomenally in the goal. Nothing has been getting past him. A lot better on the aerial side, and Pasty trying to bounce it over Forkknife. Cannot get anything there. BHS bringing the attack super heavy off the start of this overtime period.
Yeah, it's been quite interesting to see just the knit and grit of both of these teams. The response by PCV has actually been really outstanding. Their defense has held strong. They haven't really made any mistakes to give up any free shot opportunities. They've started rotating. We talked about it before. The team play is quite important, and they've kind of really applied a lot more team pressure on this BHS defense. And now you see a player going for the ball. If he had maybe gotten enough on the car instead of the ball, he might have been able to get a shot on goal. You see Strength now coming through, but Pasty's going to play that off the ceiling. That's going to bounce up. You're going to see Zach cleared into the corner, wisely getting it out of the center of that box. And there's a big demo on Criver from Strength, but Hypes is right there. And now it's in no man's land, as they've got to clear it out. And really, when it comes down to it, we're at 1 minute 30 seconds into extra time.
There
and
it is.
Criver finally powers one home, takes it away. You see him play it really smart, but watch the rebound and the follow through as Criver hits it into the back of the net, taking game 3 2-1. And when you look at this, Skids, game 1 overtime 2-1, game 2 2-1, and then you see game 3, 1-0 going into overtime like that. I mean, it's just it's such a close matchup, even though in the series you have BHS now on match point.
Yeah, it just comes down to who's getting more shots on goal, because they are eventually going to start falling. But when you have a goaltender like Joshy back there, you're going to need a phenomenal shot to chip on over. And that's exactly what we saw out of BHS there in the overtime period. And you're not out of it yet, though, if you're past Christian. You guys have been playing super well. You just got to fine-tune the last little details and get the ball into the net as we are loading up into game number 4. MHSAA state finals are on the line. PCV hoping to stay alive. BHS hoping to clinch it right here.
Yeah, I mean, this is where you've played your entire season, right, to get to this point. The 1 seed and the 2 seed, battling it out. You really want to at least get those little bit of momentum pushes and show everybody what you have. And so at this point in time, if I'm PCV, I'm going to keep doing what I did last game. You think about how close it could have been if one goal had fallen in their, direction during the regular time. This is a whole different series. And so don't overcompensate and try to play way too aggressive, because this is match point. Do exactly what you were doing. And now we're almost a minute in as it's already still 0-0. I mean, you don't have to overextend yourself. Just get smart shots on the board, which is what they've seemed to be doing. They really disrupted hype right there. Pasty now gets that cleared out, but Joshy playing back. A good job by Joshy, and now clearing it out. Can anybody follow this up with a shot? That's going to be redirected, but no. BHS now on the attack. Tries to bounce Zach out of the way in that corner, and this could be a centered opportunity. Does anybody get a shot off? No. Instead, it goes the opposite direction, and this is really just a punch for punch, blow for blow, shot for shot battle right now.
And there we go. BHS getting on the board first as Pasty punches it through, giving them that lead that they wanted. And I would argue now that past Christian needs to step on the gas. They're keeping one guy back in the goal. I understand you guys are a little scared, a little passive on wanting to make sure they don't get the cheap little snipe goals, but you're down both in the series and in the game. You got to get punching through here. We saw Strength try and swing through on a beautiful goal, but unfortunately couldn't connect. And now we just want to see them finish it out here. BHS, can they drain out the clock, or is past Christian, the 2 seed, going to be able to start the reverse comeback here?
You see them go back and forth. 3 minutes to go in this game 4, and I absolutely love the battle. And, not giving up, right? Just because you're down by 1, you're going to still apply that pressure. You have to get those 1 and 2 shots. Here we go. 2 players going up for it right there. You see Pasty was the only one to commit, though, on the defense, and that was really wise by BHS, because that could have been a double commit. 1 errant bump from one of those cars, and that ball goes into the back of the net, and we're all tied. But we're halfway through this game 4, and you see BHS still on the attack.
Yeah, I do like that pinch, though, from PCV. Change it up a little bit. Bring those 2 guys down to try and get that quick pinch so the goalie can't stop it. And now you see Josh on the retreat here. 2 minutes left. You got to start bringing that guy up. Bring the all-out attack. It's do or die right now as Fork Knife has control of the ball, and Cry is able to stall just enough to get the rest of his team back on the defensive side. Now they're swinging it all up into the middle. PCV, we mentioned in game number 3, was bringing everything in the middle, but now I'm seeing a little bit more of corner shots from them as they are back on the attacking side. BHS has had full attacking control this whole series, but PCV stringing something together now. Will it be enough? Almost. BHS almost punched it in there.
Yeah, I mean, that was a very, very close shot. And when you think of how these games have not been one-sided at all through this series, it's been so incredibly close, just 1 goal apart from each other, whether it was 2-1 in game 1 or 2-1 in game 2. Or 1-0 in game 3. We've already seen extra time twice. So don't give up, and PCV can still find that fast break, and maybe that extra person can follow through. But instead, on the opposite side, it goes the complete opposite direction that they wanted to see, as Criver follows up this shot. And this is a beautiful redirect right into the corner. I mean, that shot is an incredibly difficult shot, and a good job by Criver. And now BHS are just 70 seconds away from being the MHSAA champions.
BHS up 2-0 now. PCV, this is where you need to go. But they started off. BHS got that early demo, which stopped the attack. No kickoff goal. PCV would have loved to have a nice little kickoff goal to not shave much time off the clock. And you got to get this chip in here now. Maybe PCV fans out there are hoping that I say this game's over so they can get a cast your curse goal here. But we just hope that PCV can get the one through, as they have been attacking so well. They just need to finish. They got to be able to come in and get that last guy to finish in through the goal.
30 seconds remaining. PCV has to get this cleared out, and they've got to get a shot or two on goal right now to give them an opportunity to move this to a game 5. If you're BHS, you just continue to eat up time. We're at the final 10 seconds, and it's almost too little too late for PCV. Can they get a shot? No, it's going to be denied. And now the final seconds are ticking off, and BHS is going to be your MHSAA champions. And that was an impressive series. A 4-0 sweep. It didn't feel like a 4-0 sweep, but still a 4-0 sweep nonetheless for the BHS Rockets. Congratulations on your championship this fall 2021 season.
BHS showing absolute dominance. There's a reason that they were the 1 seed. There's a reason that they made it all the way through. Past Christian trying their best, but unfortunately fell short here at the very end. Only putting in 2 goals into the net throughout the whole series is a little bit tricky, but they kept having plenty of shots, just too strong for BHS. Pass Valley, congratulations to you guys making it this far. BHS crowned your MHSAA state champions.
Yeah, it was a hard fought battle. And again, I'll say it. It was a best of 7 series. It was a 4-0 sweep. However, it did not feel like that in game 1 being a 2-1 overtime win, game 2 a 2-1 game, and then also game 3 a 1-0 overtime game. And when you think of that long going by without a goal, the momentum just shifting back and forth, left and right, it's quite impressive indeed. Skids, this has been an absolute blast. I love the fact that PlayVS is always doing such a phenomenal job of carrying out these amazing state champions. And I want to just say kudos to the production crew and the way that they give us all the replays and the shots, and just the opportunity to be able to cast this was an absolute blast with you. But from PlayVS, I'm the Doxology alongside Skids. That's going to do it for us. We'll see you next time.
Cold like 0 degrees. I'm out the cage, gotta let out the beast. Revolutionary, gotta let out the streets. Locked in a cage, I'ma let out the. Wake up, get out the sheets. We came for war, man, forget my peace. You take the west, I'll take on the east. I'ma put him in the cage, never let out the. Yeah. I hear him chat to the noise. Move too quick, can't stop for the talking. I hear him chat with the boys. Not so tough, but mans keep walking, yeah. Just too sharp with the prize. White girls, let her tell me I'm awesome, yeah. Hot like fire on the pan. If you wanna touch me, please use caution. Production. Beg, please get on your knees. Came from the jungle, up in the trees. I got a few tricks up in the sleeve. One wrong move, I'ma let out the. Big shoes, check out the crease. Blow like I'm Bigfoot, step on the beat. Make a man's run till he step out the cleats. When the whole place scream, gotta